You own 5 beautiful scarves. They sit in your drawer looking gorgeous. But every time you try to wear one, you look in the mirror and think, nope, this doesn't work. So you take it off and never wear it again. Here's what I discovered that changed everything. It's not the scarf. It's not your face. It's not your age. It's 3 specific mistakes you're making that nobody has ever explained to you. And once you fix these 3 things, scarves will transform from frustrating accessories you avoid into your secret weapon for looking polished and elegant. One of these mistakes is so counterintuitive that when I first heard it, I argued with the stylist who told me. But then I tried it her way and I finally understood why my scarves never looked right. Stay with me because these 3 fixes are going to change your entire relationship with scarves. Hello, my gorgeous friends. Welcome back to Glow at Every Age, where we solve those frustrating style problems that nobody else addresses honestly. If you're new here, welcome to a community of women who believe that accessories like scarves should make life easier, not harder. We're all about practical solutions that actually work in real life. And to my wonderful returning viewers, thank you for trusting me with your style challenges. Today we're solving the scarf problem once and for all. Because I know so many of you have scarves you love, but never wear because you just can't make them work. Before we dive into these 3 scarf mistakes, hit that subscribe button right now. We create problem-solving content like this every single week that addresses the real frustrations you're dealing with. When you subscribe and turn on notifications, you get instant access to solutions that actually work instead of vague styling advice that doesn't help. It's completely free, takes 2 seconds, and makes sure you never miss content that could solve a problem you've been struggling with. Do it now, and let's fix your scarf situation. Mistake number 1. You're choosing the wrong size scarf for your body and face. This is the mistake nobody talks about, and it's the most important one. Scarves come in wildly different sizes, and the size you choose changes everything about how you look. Here's what most women do. They see a beautiful scarf, they buy it without thinking about size, and then they try to make it work. But if the scarf is the wrong size for your proportions, no amount of expert tying will make it look good. Let me break this down specifically. If you have a petite frame or a smaller face, large oversized scarves will completely overwhelm you. The scarf will wear you instead of you wearing the scarf. You'll look buried, swallowed, and frumpy no matter how you tie it. On the flip side, if you have a larger frame or a fuller face, tiny delicate scarves will look out of proportion. They'll appear stingy and inadequate, like you're trying to put a doll's scarf on an adult. It creates visual imbalance. Here's the rule that will change everything. Your scarf should be proportional to your face and frame. If you're petite with delicate features, choose medium-sized scarves, roughly 27 to 35 inches square for square scarves, or medium-length rectangular scarves. If you have a larger frame or fuller features, go for generous-sized scarves, 35 inches square and up, or longer rectangular scarves that have enough volume to balance your proportions. And here's the part that surprised me. This has nothing to do with your age. This is pure proportion. I've seen petite 70-year-olds look incredible in medium scarves and terrible in oversized ones. Size matters more than style, color, or fabric. Before you buy another scarf, before you try to wear one you already own, check the size. Hold it up to your face and upper body. Does it feel proportional? Or does it feel like too much or too little? Trust your eye on this. Mistake number 2. You're placing the scarf in the wrong location on your body. This is the counterintuitive one I mentioned. Most women tie their scarf tightly around their neck, right up against their throat. And then they wonder why it looks uncomfortable, dated, and unflattering. Here's what that stylist told me that I initially resisted. Your scarf should sit lower than you think. Not tight against your neck. Lower with breathing room, creating a relaxed drape instead of a tight knot. Let me explain why this matters so much. When you tie a scarf tightly at your neck, several bad things happen simultaneously. First, it draws attention to your neck, which for most of us after 60, isn't where we want attention focused. Second, it looks stiff and forced, not elegant and effortless. Third, it can actually make your face look wider because the tight scarf creates a horizontal line right at your jawline. But when you place your scarf lower, sitting closer to your collarbone or even at the top of your chest, everything changes. You create vertical lines that elongate. You create a relaxed, confident vibe that looks intentional and chic. And you draw attention to your face and eyes instead of your neck. Here's exactly how to do this. Whatever way you're tying your scarf, whether it's a simple loop, a loose knot, or a drape, position the bulk of the scarf lower. If you're doing a knot, tie it loosely and let it sit at your collarbone. If you're draping, let the scarf rest on your shoulders and chest, not hugging your neck. The scarf should look like it casually landed there, not like you tightened it deliberately. This one change, moving your scarf lower and looser, will make every scarf you own look better instantly. And here's a bonus tip. If your scarf keeps riding up to your neck throughout the day, it's too small or tied too tightly. A properly sized scarf placed correctly will stay where you put it. Mistake number 3. You're not considering your neckline and collar when choosing your scarf style. This is the mistake that creates the most visual mess and makes women give up on scarves entirely. You cannot wear every scarf with every neckline. They have to work together, not fight each other. Let me give you the specific rules that will eliminate all the guesswork. If you're wearing a crew neck or high neckline, your scarf needs to be long and drapey, not bulky. A long rectangular scarf that hangs down creates vertical lines and doesn't compete with the high neckline. A square scarf tied in a bulky way with a crew neck creates too much fabric and visual weight right at your neck, making you look thick and uncomfortable. If you're wearing a V-neck or open neckline, you have more options. You can do a loosely tied square scarf that sits in the V. You can do a draped scarf that follows the line of the V. Or you can do a long scarf that hangs inside the V. All of these work because there's space for the scarf to exist without crowding. If you're wearing a collared shirt or button-up, your scarf should stay outside the collar, not tucked inside. Tucking a scarf inside a collar looks dated and fussy. Let the scarf sit on top of the collar, draping naturally. And keep the scarf on the simpler side because the collar is already adding structure. If you're wearing a turtleneck, skip the scarf entirely, or wear it as a shawl over your shoulders. A scarf around a turtleneck is fabric overload at your neck, and creates that suffocating look that makes you want to rip everything off. Here's the principle that ties all of this together. Your scarf and your neckline should complement each other, not compete. If your neckline is busy or high, your scarf should be simple and long. If your neckline is open and simple, your scarf can be fuller and more present. Before you put on a scarf, look at your neckline. Ask yourself, is there room for this scarf here? Or am I creating a traffic jam at my neck? If it feels crowded, either change the scarf style or change the top. Now, before I show you how all 3 of these work together, I want to hear from you. Which of these 3 mistakes have you been making? The wrong size, the wrong placement, or the wrong pairing with your neckline? Drop a comment below right now and tell me. And while you're there, give this video a thumbs up because I can tell from the comments on previous videos that so many of you struggle with scarves, and this video is the solution. Let's make sure more women see it. Putting all 3 together. Here's what it looks like when you get all 3 right. You choose a scarf that's proportional to your frame. Let's say your average height and build. So you choose a 35-inch square scarf or a medium-long rectangular scarf. You put on a simple V-neck top. That's an open neckline with room for the scarf. You take your scarf and drape it or tie it loosely, positioning it lower, sitting at your collarbone or chest level, not tight against your neck. The result? You look polished, elegant, and like you know what you're doing. The scarf enhances your outfit instead of overwhelming it or looking like an afterthought. Why these 3 mistakes happen? The reason most women make these mistakes is simple. Nobody teaches you the rules. You see scarves looking beautiful on other people or in magazines, but you don't see the proportion, placement, and neckline considerations that make those scarves work. So you buy scarves, you try to tie them the way you see others do, and when it doesn't look right, you blame yourself or the scarf. But it's not you. It's just that you're missing these 3 foundational pieces of information. Your action plan. Here's what I want you to do right now. Go to your scarf drawer or wherever you keep your scarves. Pull them all out. First, assess size. Hold each scarf up to your face and upper body. Is it proportional? Or is it too big or too small for your frame? Set aside the ones that are the wrong size. You can gift them to someone, they'll fit better. Or you can keep them as travel wraps or home accessories. But stop trying to wear them as scarves. Second, practice placement. Take a scarf that is the right size. Put it on but position it lower than you normally would. Loose, relaxed, sitting at your collarbone or chest. Look in the mirror. See how much better that looks compared to tight and high at your neck? Third, match your scarves to your necklines. Lay out a few of your most worn tops. Look at the necklines. Then match scarves to them based on the rules I gave you. High neck needs long drapey scarf. Open neck can handle fuller scarf. Collared shirt needs scarf on outside. Make mental notes or even take photos so you remember what works with what. Once you do this exercise one time, you'll never struggle with scarves again. You'll know which scarves work for your body, how to position them, and which tops they pair with. Scarves will go from frustrating to effortless. Why this matters? Some people might think scarves are optional or old-fashioned. But here's the truth. A scarf is one of the fastest ways to elevate a basic outfit and add a touch of elegance and sophistication. It's also one of the most affordable accessories to collect because you can find beautiful scarves at thrift stores, discount retailers, and online for very little money. But only if you know how to wear them. Otherwise, they're just pretty fabric sitting in your drawer making you feel inadequate. You're not inadequate. You just needed these 3 pieces of information. Now you have them. I know some of you are wondering about specific tying techniques. Once you've fixed these 3 foundational mistakes, tying becomes much easier. I'll do a separate video on simple scarf ties that actually work for mature women, but honestly, once you get the size, placement, and neckline pairing right, even a basic loop or loose knot looks great. What about scarves for different seasons? These 3 rules apply year-round. In summer, you use lighter fabrics in the right size. In winter, you use heavier fabrics in the right size. The principles don't change. What if you're between sizes or not sure what proportion you are? Hold scarves up in the store or at home. If it feels like too much fabric, go smaller. If it feels skimpy, go larger. Your eye will tell you. If this video finally solved the scarf mystery for you, please share it with a friend who has a drawer full of unworn scarves. We all know someone who needs this information. Subscribe if you haven't yet because next week we're talking about the jewelry mistakes that age you, and you're going to want that information too. Thank you for being here. Thank you for wanting to look polished and put together without spending hours figuring out complicated accessories. Scarves should be easy and now they will be. These 3 fixes are all you need. Until next time, keep glowing, keep growing, and remember it's never the scarf. It's knowing how to work with the scarf you have. Take care, my friends.